Well, hello my friends, and welcome back to the bench. Gloves again today. Today's going to be a look back video. Maybe a couple years ago I did a test of all the white paints I had in my inventory, which was a lot. I was just curious how an airbrushed and a brushed on white would look directly over black. And I just took strips of black plastic and brushed them on one side, airbrushed on the other, let them dry, and let's see the results. Now, one of my patrons asked me to, who just watched this video, and didn't see a brand. I didn't test everything. I tested what I could, what I had, what it was easy for me to go out and grab. But I guess that one of the Goldens, they want to see how that goes on. So I'm going to go have to go buy a bottle of that at my local art supply store. I have a Michael's sort of nearby. I'm going to run up there and grab that for him for a test. But so it made me go and grab the little samples. I always kept them. You can see them here. I kept them. And, you know, the reason why I'm doing this test now is because some of them really turned yellow. Not all of them. Majority didn't. But I thought that was pretty funky. So I said, let's go over them again. Let's look at them quick. And I look back at this video. You can see some of the paints here. I don't use acrylics. I will test them. There's a couple of acrylics up here. Here's one, custom service. So a lot of the here's an acrylic, wicked. A lot of the acrylics are gone. I donated them or sold them, but I do have the swashes for those, and we'll go over those and quickly here. Let's jump in. I'm just going to randomly grab them as we go. This is Tama lacquer. This is brushed on. I don't know if I can get the lighting on this. Lighting was pretty good. This is airbrushed on. Pretty nice, pretty even. A little splotchy around the edges, but I might have gone light on that. Don't forget, after this is dried, you can put another layer on and get a nice coat. It's a little weak. I can see spots here, but that's the Tama lacquer. Actually brushed on pretty good compared to some of these. All right, let's put these aside. I'm grabbing them, just grabbing them out of the pile here. AK Real Colors. This is brushed. Now you can see the difference right away, that the Tama brushed on way better than that. And that's airbrushed. Not bad. You're getting way better results airbrushing. That was AK Real Colors. Gaia, brushed on. Yeah, it's a little weak brushed on. It's got some spots in it too. Airbrushed, pretty good, not the best. A little splotchy up there. They're all pretty durable. I did a bending test if I recall. That's Gaia. MRP. Where is MRP? Right here. They call it Mr. Paint. This is paint from Latvia? Slovakia. And it's an acrylic lacquer, like the Tama, the original Tama paints. Here it is brushed on. Not bad brush, believe it or not. That's an airbrush paint. These are airbrush readies. A little weak here on the airbrushing, even though it looks like it brushed on better than it airbrushed. All right. Display. It actually brushed on pretty good. That's a heavy paint. And these don't really require a lot of shaking. They're really kind of a pre-mixed pigment-heavy paint. Let's see how it airbrushed on. Not bad. It looks like it's got a mark in there, but that might be from storage. Display. All right, Studio G, and I don't know what happened to his bottle here. Look at this thing. It all caved in. That's it, brushed on. Didn't brush on too well at all. Airbrushed, pretty good. You see spots, maybe it's from me touching it. Little chalky bits here. See it? Overall, though, not too bad. All right. Straight regular Tama. When I say Tama, I mean their acrylic. There's Tama Enamel, there's a Tama Lacquer, and there's a Tama Acrylic, which is their standard paint. And this brushed on pretty good. Is that flat? That's flat white. I picked one of them. I didn't do both. Airbrushed really well. This Tama airbrushing on over black. I tested it on a spoon. I'm going back to maybe 3 or 4 years. And somebody asked me what covered the best. So I grabbed, back then I only had a few colors. I remember Tama beating them all out. It just airbrushed right over black plastic without a primer. And it still shows well. So big thumb up for Tama. One of the lowest price, easier to get paints here. And really impressive. All right. Moto. Do I have Moto still? I think it's, is it up here? Help me, guys. You see it? Moto. Where are you? I don't see it. Oh, well. It's over here on my wall. So this is Moto. Oh, wait a minute. It's the Pro one. I think this is it. Yeah, here it is. There it is. Number 1, too. So that's brushed on. No, not the best. Airbrushed. Airbrushed pretty good. It pulled up here. My glove is all flopping around. It pulled up a little bit on the edges, but still covered the black pretty well. Not the best. Moto's hard to get now. I don't even know if they still exist. All right. Splash. Where is Splash? Right here. Brushed on, but these are, again, airbrush paints. Straight airbrush paint. So that's to be expected. Airbrush, though, went on really nice. I keep seeing little things in it, but it looks like some dust that has settled on it. But that airbrushed really well. All right. Now we get to the faded out brushed version of Revel. Here's Revel. Now these come in a tin like this. I can't stand these tins, so I took them out and I put them in these empty Tama jars that I bought a case of, and I labeled them myself. So that is gloss white. But boy, oh boy, let me see if I can show you so you guys can see the difference in white here. I mean, if in person, it looks like it's as beige as this wood, just about. Look at that. Now, it didn't fade on as much on the airbrushed part, but it's still ridiculously not good. Which one is this? I just grabbed anything. This is the display. I mean, just so you guys can see white, is the Gaia. I mean, look at the difference. Wow. So this is one of the ones I picked up. I says, wow, that is not good. And it's an enamel too, so it's usually more durable than that, but that is terrible. So that faded out. I got another one here too. We'll get to that in a sec. Testers. A little square jar. Not bad. That brushed on pretty good. Oh, I must have marked it. Damn. I'm trying to get these as pure as I can. That airbrushed pretty well, man. I gotta tell you, that airbrushed good. Testers. Not bad. Finishers from Japan. Where's Finishers? Here they are. Finishers. Pure white. Brushed on. Actually pretty good. Now this isn't airbrush ready, so you're going to get a good brushing. The better brushed on paints are going to be the not airbrush ready, obviously. But look at this. It airbrushed really well. Really well. Nice and even. It covered the black. Not too bad. Only one place in America, I think, sells this. Don't quote me on who has this. It's a hobby shop. It's either Burbank House of Hobbies or it's Galactic Toys. This is A-OK. This is in the box. I don't know if these people are still around, but I believe Robot Kai now has the rights to them and rebranded them. Really well. Look at this. I mean, this brushed on incredible. This might be the best brushed on one in the pile here. Look at that. Airbrushed. That looks like a piece of oil or something. That's what that must be. But other than that, it airbrushed good too. So A-OK, which I don't think is around anymore, but technically it is. It's Kaizo now sells it. It rebranded it. But that's another good one, particularly brushed on. All right, this is Wicked right here. Again, I think that's an airbrush only paint, even though they're not really thin. It just didn't brush on too well. Let's see how it airbrushed. Oh, it airbrushed pretty well. Again, some of these got dirty over the years, but it really covered quite well. E7. Did I pull down an E7? Yeah, right here. Kind of a Gaia copycat on a Taiwan. Is it Taiwan? That's brushed on, not too bad. Airbrushed, pretty good. Oop, hit the camera. Gaia EX, that's the big bottles. Here they are. Right here. Little splotches here, but it did brush on well. It's pretty opaque, see it? So another coating, once this dries, it'll be beautiful. But that's the first go. I think that's 1 or 2 layers, which is what I did for all of them. Airbrushed, not as great as I would have hoped for the price of it, but pretty good. It looks like I might have been holding it here, so I'm going back a ways. It did brush on. It did airbrush really well. All right, let's go to the second one that absolutely faded right out, and that's Humbrol in the little can. A canned enamel, just like Revel. Same results. Now, you're not going to get the same results from all enamels because I just showed you the testers, which look great. And I got a Tamiya. Let's hold it up now. Enamel right there. And, I mean, come on. Look how great that Tamiya is. Now, it didn't fade as much here, but it is faded. It's still not white. So I'm going to show it like that. So the enamel from Tamiya did not airbrush as well. It's a little splotchy. I could have kept going, but I get everything by about 2 or 3 layers when I airbrushed it to keep everything the same. I mean, I could have kept going forever until I got to flood it out. But brushing on, beautiful from Tamiya enamel. Humbrol, no. This just faded right out to, I don't know what that is. Mr. Color, straight up Mr. Color, number 1. Brushed on beautifully. Airbrushed beautifully. Absolutely beautiful. Again, the lower price paint on this whole shelf, the Tamiya, look how good. They both performed great. Mr. Color, so this is their lacquer, but it brushed on great, airbrushed great. That's a winner right there. SMS, now I didn't expect this. This is a super thin, pre-thin paint for airbrushing, so I didn't expect it to brush on great. It didn't, but airbrushed really well. It covered nice. It's bent there because I did this as a test for bending it. It held up. SMS, airbrushing. I'd stick with airbrushing only with that, but look how good that came out. That is another winner. I got a jump wind here. I did this one late because I didn't have jump wind, so I labeled it. So this is jump wind brushed. It's a gloss, obviously. Look at that. But this would take another coating. That's a thick paint. It's not pre-thin, but it didn't brush well. But it did airbrush really well. Jump wind airbrush is great. It's a great, great brand. Odin. Is that up here somewhere? Yeah, right here. Odin. Brushed on. That's a little funky. Could have been down to, you know, I say oils and stuff on the plastic, but I cut all of them from the same strip. I had gloves on. This is just how they went on. Let's see how it airbrushed. It airbrushed really well. I mean, that is even. That's nice. So that did airbrush well. Brushed on? No. All right, let's keep going. Hobby Mio. Really well. That brushed on great. Where is it up here? Here it is. And this is another pre-thin paint. So go figure. I mean, that really came. That brushed on really well. It covered its strokes. Look at that. Another great brand. There is a lot of great paint out there. Airbrushed, beautiful. Little opaque. I think this could use another hit with the airbrush once it dries to get a nice even cover. Could have been a little more opaque, a little more better coverage, but still it airbrushed beautifully and it hand painted, go figure, beautifully. Among the best air. And it's an airbrush paint. Custom service, where is that? Oh, that's this one. SciFi White, this is pure white. And there it is. It looks like it flowed to the side here, didn't it? You know what, though? No brush strokes. Go figure. Look at that. But it did. If it looked like that all the way across, I'd be happy. Obviously, this could benefit from another coating. Let's see how it airbrushed. It did not airbrush great. This might have been from sitting. See the edges? Looks like it was sitting on it. So pay attention to the middle part. Again, not great. You can see how really splotchy it is. That's an acrylic. All right, Mr. Hobby Aqueous, #1 also. #1. Just dust out of here. There we go. Let's see. That brushed on beautifully, but that is shiny. Look at that. It's gloss. But it did cover awesome. Let's see how it airbrushed. Airbrushed really well. Now, the ones that you don't see on the shelf that I had given away, they're mostly acrylics because I don't really use acrylics. Let's look at those quickly. Oh, Citadel. That brushed on awful. Oh my gosh. Look at it. And that's a brush on paint. Oh, it airbrushed a little better. It didn't like the edges. But in the middle, I got it to cover pretty well, believe it or not. Look at that. Acrylics. I don't have those. I don't like them. They're not a paint I like, even though I love Mr. Hobby. And they're made for brushing on. They're not really made for airbrushing, even though you can airbrush them. And go figure here. I got this thing to airbrush really well and not brush well. No strokes, though. No brush strokes. Look at that. Chroma Air. This is Spray Gunner's brand of airbrush paints. Did not brush well, but it airbrushed pretty well. Don't go by down here. I was probably holding it down here. Pretty opaque, if you look at that. It's pretty opaque. Mecha Color, I guess this is Valo. Oh, dirty again. I'll have to focus your eyes up here. It actually airbrushed pretty well. I think I had all the Valos at the time, and I just picked the Mecha one. I picked one. And didn't brush great, but it did airbrush really well for an acrylic. AK 3rd Gen. That's brushed on. You can see the strokes there. I guess another layer would fix this up. AK 3rd Gen acrylics. Actually airbrushed pretty well. Scale 75. I gave those away in a giveaway, I believe. That didn't brush on great, even though I think they brush on paints first and airbrush second. Airbrushed really well. Mission Models paint. That's brushed on. That's airbrushed on. Pretty good. I have to check Mission. I've had them like 5 years ago and I did some tests, but I just see if they got a new formula. They just don't show up at any of my hobby shops I shop at or anywhere. You probably have to buy them direct. They're local to me too. I believe they're in Connecticut. That airbrushed really well. Look at that. Game Air. Oh, there's another Vallejo. I thought I only did the one. That's brushed on. Obviously air. It's an airbrush paint. And I think you should ignore this. This looks like it got stacked up and harmed. But this part, it airbrushed really well. White 3.0. That's, black 3.0, that big container. So that is supposedly the greatest white in the world, but It's as good as any of these here. That's it, airbrushed. Pretty good, pretty good. Oh, look at this. Ammo by Mig. Now, I remember painting this. This one stuck out in my head because I remember it. I kept cutting pieces of plastic, the same piece, and it kept doing it, but it didn't do it to anything else I painted. So, whatever was in the paint, it just didn't like going down. That is Amos, standard white. Here it is, airbrushed. Again, look at it. I just couldn't get a good result. I gave up and finally showed it to you guys like this because this is the result I got. Army Painter. That brushed on really well. You can see the strokes, but another layer, and then you would have a beautiful pure white. Army Painter is just awesome. This thing airbrushed so well. Look at this. Again, a little faded here, but I think I was holding it there. Look at that. Army Painter, a good acrylic. Pro Acryl. Pro Acryl. Brushed on. Obviously, you can see it. Would require another layer. Airbrushed on really well. Again, another good airbrushed result from an acrylic. Last but not least, Badger paints. I gave these away a while ago. Hard to find. I don't mention them because they're just difficult to find. This is the really bad result. Now, I brushed it on. I don't know how it pulled up again like the other one. Look at how it airbrushed. Oh man. This is just awful. It's cracking. So even though you say most of these are good, the bad ones are bad. The bad ones are bad, particularly those that turned orange there. Where's this Humbrol? Look at that. And the Revel. Where's the Revel? They're both like the same kind of paint too. You'd think they were the same company because they're both shipping that tin container, but they're not. They're manufactured in separate countries. I can't find the Revel. Here it is. It sticks out like a sore thumb. Look at that. Ugh. Yeah, that's awful. The Humbrol worse. I'm looking for a nice real white so you guys can see the difference. Oh my goodness. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Wow. Look. So anyway, there you go, guys. I thought we'd go over it again. Some guys always ask me about the whites, and I did the same with a bunch of silvers. I like testing a standard color across the board. I might do a silver test from spray cans and see who has the best silver in a can or that type of thing. Ideas always rolling in my head. So obviously, I got newer paints. These new real color formulas I didn't test yet. I got the new Atom paints from Ammo by Mig, which is supposedly good. That test has come up. I'm actually spraying these figures with the new Atom paint right now. And we're going to spray, so we're going to have a sample of each color. Not every color, but I have a box set of Ammo's Atom paints, so we will see how those look. I'm working on that test right now behind the scenes. And there you go. I'm sorry if I missed something. I didn't do any spray cans. Right next to me, right here. Let me grab it. See, I got this, great white base. I didn't test any of these. I could have done a white test. Hold on, let me try another one. Fine white primer. We could have tried the AK in the spray can. And I got some other primer spray cans. Maybe I'll do that as a separate test. We'll spray all the whites from spray cans and see which is the best one too. We'll try that also. Anyway, guys, there you go. That is the test. Please leave a thumbs up. Any questions below, you guys can ask me. If you didn't see a paint here, I'm sorry. I tried to show all of them, including the ones I've gotten rid of. Here's the swatches for those. And I did my best to show them all. Now, I will, for my Patreon, because they're paying members, I'm going to go and get that bottle of, I think it's Golden he wants to try. So I'm going to test that for him. And I hope to have that by the weekend. And that's all. If you see one you like, go for it. This took a while of collecting all of these brands. As you can clearly see, this is just one wall. And I thought, I really thought I had everyone, but there's stuff I'm still missing. So I do apologize for that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Like the video, as I said. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like and notification button, so you know when we put up a new video. So we have other stuff in the works, including this Atom paint test. I have flawless lacquer. Crystal clear and matte. We'll be testing this. We're going to see how flawless it is. We'll spray it and we'll decant it. We'll put some in the airbrush too and see what we get for that. So that we're working on also behind the scenes. So anyway, there you go, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll probably see you over the weekend. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. God bless you all. Have a great day.